Okay, I thought I would quickly show you a little more about the regulations, and we can kind of look at an actual regulation. Remember that regulations are very similar to statutes in how they appear. They're actual rules. These are separate from decisions, which are like cases, and those come out of the courts that are associated with the particular agencies, like the Workers' Compensation Board that has its own agency. Social Security also has its own agency court. So let's look at the regulation. I would put in again the alcoholic beverage control. The reason I choose this one is not because I'm just such a drinker, but rather because I actually had clients that did licensing. So this was a solid agency. It does not have its own court system, so it's more typical of an agency. So I'm going to search here, and I'm going to show you the larger scene here. So we've got the regulations. We have secondary sources. I, again, personally like secondary sources, so I'm sort of pretending here that we've got a client who's interested in the licensing. Because I'm so new to it, I'm going to go into secondary source and try to get help. So again, what I usually do is I narrow my search, because I just am interested in California here. I'm going to click on California, apply the filters to get some general guidelines here. I do see that this is California JurisCalJur, and it has CalJur alcohol, a whole section starting with 86. Well, I should say 86 is listed right here. So I'm going to go into the first one because I can see it's got a whole chapter dedicated to this. But I'm going to jump to the table of contents because I want to get ahead of this. So alcoholic beverages, I could click here and see the entire chapter, what it looks like. I'm mostly interested in licensing, so I'm going to click on this one. Then I'm going to start looking at it generally. So I can start my research with the general information about licensing. I can then also take a look right here at the regulations that comes out of California Code of Regulations and see what's going on there. That also has a table of contents, and I can back up and see that. You can see some citing references to secondary sources. You can see, though, there are no notes of decisions, which tells you there is no court associated specifically with the ABC. So I can, again, let's look at what a regulation looks like. You can see, again, it looks just like a statute. All right, so this tells us who can apply for a license. So I can back up here and then look at varying other licenses. Some limitations here. It's quite extensive. But you can see what it looks like and read it. And the difference, again, what you're going to see, as I mentioned before, there are no cases to interpret much of this. They do have, however, something a little different from cases, helping to explain things with regards to a regulation. So if I back up, I'm going to go to the front end here and go to you'll see statutes, regulations, which you know. We also look at administrative decisions and guidance. This is what the textbook mentions about guidance. What you will see here are opinions from the Attorney General. This one is interesting. Just at the head, this is a sample of what you can find here. This is a decision requesting an opinion. So here's the question: may the operator of a commercial enterprise who does not have a license legally offer and provide complimentary alcoholic beverages? So what happens is that the judge, the Honorable JSTRO is requesting this opinion from the Attorney General. So then we will get an actual analysis and a discussion to help answer the question. So there are many decisions like this coming out of the Office of the Attorney General, so you can do some additional research, perhaps addressing your specific problem. Well, that's just a little something, a little more on regulatory research.